My name is Dilbagh Gill and I'm the CEO and team principal of Mahindra Racing. I got to college in 1988. Okay, that's a long time ago. And at that point of time, I was trying to look at, okay, how could I earn income while I was a student? I was pretty gifted mechanically. So I started working on repairing motorcycles while I was in the university. And then I started racing those motorcycles which I was working on in college and went up to be reasonably successful in motorcycling. I did have a pretty bad accident and then I said, okay, let's get onto cars. So my first job out of college was working with MRF, working on the rally team, and this was in 1993. Went across industry, got involved with Mahindra, been at the Mahindra group for the last 11 years, and this opportunity came back to look at someone who's going to lead the Formula E team. I stood up, raised my hand and asked for this job. My career at Mahindra has been pretty interesting and exciting. I think that's sort of kept me in the right spirit for the last 11 years. So during this period of time, I was also tasked with the additional thing of looking at sports investments for the group. And as we were looking at sports investments, that's when Formula E came to the table. And that's how I got in to start managing the Formula E team. And it's been an exciting journey since then. It has sort of been entwined in me since childhood. What racing really brings out is the spirit of competition, spirit of a team coming together with one single purpose in mind, that's sort of to win, but win in a nice way where everyone else is contributing and sort of carrying their weight there. So for me, racing essentially embodies my spirit to, or my outlook to life. When we started, and I'm going to sort of go on record and say, we did not know what we did not know. Okay, so we started learning. So my initial sleepless nights were what do I not know? How do I sort of learn? How do I start catching up with competition? How does the team catch up with competition? I think that was what kept us awake for the first 1.5 to 2 years. I think today what keeps me awake or sort of keeps pushing me is, now we're successful. How do we maintain that success? And overall, I think we also carry a certain amount of responsibility, carrying the Indian colors on our shoulders. That's really important for us to be successful for the nation also. So I would look at a team preparation, do a review of each of the departments, what we have sort of done, go through all the errors we made in the last race, try and see how have we overcome them, are those going to be sustainable solutions to those problems, and thereafter I think start looking at, okay, where are we going to be successful and how are we going to be starting to attack the competition. So this is when we sort of get in the strategy mode. We spend a lot of time looking at bringing a collective experience back to a new track and trying to understand how will a game plan be. And that's the driver's inputs, that's the race engineer's inputs. So we have to look at the scenario analysis and we prepare for multiple scenarios going through this and then repeat it through the team so that everyone knows what has to be done at any point of time. My role actually starts reducing as we get closer to the race. If you take the analogy of an orchestra conductor, my back's to the audience and I'm looking at a team. I'm trying to see if we're working together. But as race day comes, I start turning around. We have guests, we have partners, we have sponsors, we have the media. I start spending a lot of time with all of them, communicating and evangelizing the message of what we're trying to do at Mahindra Racing. I would also be working with the regulatory body, with the promoters, and trying to ensure the best interests of Mahindra are taken care of. So my role essentially becomes more outward facing as you get closer to the race. Once a race weekend gets done, we come off those highs. What do we do till the next one? Okay, first I think where we start off is an intense debrief of that particular race. We analyze what happened, what we need to do to improve, and we sort of record that immediately. Then I think tasks are distributed within the team. Okay, what each group needs to be doing for the next event, because we understand we have to sort of reinvent ourselves before another race. I obviously will enjoy a little bit of downtime with the family, with friends, but then I want to get immediately back into things and start thinking about the next event and the event after that. We do spend a lot of time, at least from my end, is talking to sponsors, talking to our other partners in between races, trying to identify if they can support us in some of the initiatives we are taking or what can we do for them. There's a lot of travel also. And the problem is, okay, I work for an Indian headquartered company. I live in the United States. My office is in UK and the garage is in Spain. I think that tells you a little bit about what happens between races. What's the best thing of being a team principal? Trust me, it's the champagne. Having said that, I think it's just nurturing a team, putting people together, like-minded people together, and then trying to orchestrate them to work in unison. I think that's one of the best things that you can bring, because everyone individually is very highly capable in a motorsport team. And how do you make this sort of orchestra to become a symphony is really important. The most challenging for me as a team principal is essentially resources. There are three types of resources: technology resources, financial resources, and human resources. And for me, I think I spend most of my time trying to augment the team with these three forms of resources, looking for right technology partners, looking for the right people, and bringing the funding to the team. I think Mahindra Racing essentially embodies what all of us have been doing for a long period of time. That's being passioneers. Okay, we are highly passionate about what we do, and at the same time, I think the team is highly capable of what they do. And for us, it gets doubly challenging at Mahindra, being a smaller team and being distributed among two locations, okay, between UK and Spain. We have 27 people in the team from 13 different countries. How does this work together? It's basically trust. Each of us are very confident in our own capabilities, but at the same time, I think we are also very confident about our colleagues' capability. See, the challenges of working in motorsport is the highs and lows. And many times you have these emotions on the same day. The stress of motorsport is sort of negative because it demands a lot from all of us. Spending 300 days on the road, I think my biggest interest is family. Because 60 odd days when you get to spend at home is really precious, really important to me. Over and above that, I think it's also for me really interesting to try and learn what I'm missing out in terms of being on the road, in terms of what's happening in the industry, what's happening outside the industry, and trying to keep up with that. So I spend a lot of time trying to read, catch up on it. But otherwise, I'd say like the heart, soul, it beats in motorsport. So Formula E and my team is never more than 5 minutes away from my mind. I think the first thing is believe in yourself. It's a tough job. It's a dirty job. It's not as glamorous as what it looks as TV. Your fingernails are going to be dirty. You have to start working on the car, understanding the car. But at the end of the day, I think what we're really looking at is how can you contribute to your teammates. What it really means is, okay, just not knowing cars, but knowing technology, knowing how to apply technology, and some serious amount of business acumen in making those decisions is something really tough. So I think, guys, keep knocking on doors, okay, of motorsport. And we at Mahindra keep encouraging to try and get at least 1 or 2 members who are looking at sort of growing the career. And who knows, knock on our door, we might be able to have an opening for you.